Welcome to the depths of biblical mysteries. Greetings, truth seekers of California. Welcome to the depths of biblical mysteries that have remained hidden for millennia. Imagine for a moment that everything you think you know about sacred history is about to change. What if the pages of the Bible you've read all your life only tell a fraction of the true story? Today, we delve into the fascinating and controversial world of forbidden archaeology. This is a realm where unearthed artifacts and forgotten texts challenge the narratives we've been told for centuries. Hidden beneath the sands of the Middle East, under the ruins of ancient civilizations, lie secrets that could rewrite history as we know it. These are secrets that some powerful individuals would prefer to keep buried. Yet truth has a way of coming to light. Today, we will witness revelations that will shake the very foundations of our biblical understanding. Are you ready to question everything? Are you prepared to question everything you thought you knew? Do you dare to look beyond the veil of official history and venture into mysteries that have intrigued humanity for centuries? Get ready, because we are about to embark on a journey that will challenge your faith, expand your mind, and reveal a Bible you've never known. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Alejandro Vega, and I welcome you to Forbidden Archaeology, the Bible you didn't know. A world of biblical conspiracies, controversial prophecies, and hidden truths awaits you. History is about to change. Are you ready to discover the truth? The Bible as a historical record for centuries, the Bible has been regarded not only as a sacred text, but also as a historical record of pivotal events. Generations of believers have based their faith on the words printed in its pages, trusting in the veracity of each story, prophecy, and miracle. However, what happens when the earth itself begins to reveal a different story? In recent decades, biblical archaeology has experienced unprecedented growth. Teams of researchers equipped with cutting-edge technology and rigorous scientific methods have been unearthing artifacts and structures dating back to biblical times. Their findings have been, to say the least, astonishing, challenging traditional narratives. Imagine for a moment discovering evidence that suggests the biblical chronology we've accepted for centuries might be mistaken. We're not talking about minor discrepancies, but differences that could completely alter our understanding of sacred history. This is precisely the enigma we face today. Recent archaeological findings have begun to paint a picture that challenges the traditional narrative of the scriptures. Artifacts that shouldn't exist in certain periods, inscriptions that contradict biblical events, structures suggesting civilizations more advanced than previously thought for their time. The shadow of powerful institutions, but why aren't these discoveries public knowledge? Why don't we hear about them on the news or read about them in newspapers? The answer, dear truth seekers, lies in the shadows of powerful institutions that have controlled the historical narrative for centuries. Institutions that have much to lose if the truth comes to light. Consider, for example, the controversial discovery of the Tel Dan stele. This ancient inscription, found in 1993 in northern Israel, mentions the House of David. For many, it was archaeological proof of King David's existence. However, what isn't widely discussed is how this inscription raises uncomfortable questions about biblical chronology and the nature of David's kingdom. Or think of the Dead Sea Scrolls, ancient texts that have shed new light on Second Temple Judaism and the origins of Christianity. Did you know that some of these texts contain versions of biblical stories that differ significantly from those in the modern Bible? Exploring forbidden biblical archaeology. These are just two examples of the many enigmas that biblical archaeology has unearthed. Enigmas that challenge not only our understanding of sacred history, but also the very foundations of some of the world's largest religions. On this journey we will embark on together, we will explore three main areas of forbidden biblical archaeology: controversial, artifacts that suggest an alternative biblical chronology; archaeological evidence shedding new light on key biblical figures; surprising connections between archaeological findings, ancient prophecies, and apocryphal texts. Before we dive into these revelations, it's crucial to understand that this journey is not about destroying faith or discrediting beliefs. It is about seeking the truth, wherever it may, exploring beyond belief. A journey into forbidden archaeology. Welcome, truth seekers of California, to a journey that invites you to question, explore, and look beyond what you've been told to believe. Isn't the pursuit of truth the deepest act of faith? Prepare yourselves, for we are about to embark on an adventure that will challenge everything you've known about the Bible, history, and the very nature of faith. A journey that plunges into the depths of forbidden archaeology, revealing a Bible you have never known. The truth is out there, buried under centuries of sand and secrets. Together we will uncover it, unveiling controversial artifacts, an alternative biblical chronology. Let's dive into the heart of our first great mystery: controversial artifacts suggesting an alternative biblical chronology. Prepare yourselves, as what we are about to uncover could shake the foundations of history as we know it. Our journey begins in the scorching sands of Egypt, in the Valley of the Kings. For centuries, Egyptologists have used the established chronology to date the reigns of the pharaohs. This chronology, in turn, has been used to corroborate biblical events, such as the Exodus. But what if this timeline is fundamentally flawed? In 1995, a team of archaeologists, led by Dr. Manfred Bietak, made a stunning discovery at Tel el-Daba, the site of the ancient city of Avaris. They found evidence of a great catastrophe that struck the city around 1550 BCE. The findings included destroyed buildings, unburied skeletons, and signs of a sudden city abandonment. Initially, this seemed like just another intriguing archaeological find. But as researchers began connecting the dots, a chilling picture emerged. The plagues described in the Book of Exodus, events that supposedly led to the liberation of the Israelites from Egypt, astonishingly coincide with this catastrophe, reconciling discrepancies. A radical new theory, but there's a problem, a huge problem. According to traditional biblical chronology, the Exodus occurred around 1446 BCE. That's over a century off from the Tel el-Daba findings. How can we reconcile this discrepancy? Some scholars have proposed a radical theory that traditional Egyptian chronology could be off by about 200 years. This theory, known as the New Chronology, was first proposed by Egyptologist David Rohl. If this theory is correct, it not only aligns the archaeological findings perfectly with the biblical account of the Exodus, but also resolves numerous other discrepancies between archaeology and biblical narratives. Beyond Egypt. Rewriting ancient history, but the implications go much further. If Egyptian chronology is wrong, then much of the ancient history of the Middle East would need to be rewritten. Events we thought occurred in certain periods might have happened at completely different times. Civilizations we believed did not coexist might have interacted. Imagine the ramifications. Kingdoms we thought were contemporary might not have been. Wars we believed occurred in a certain order might have happened in a completely different sequence. History as we know it could be an incorrectly assembled puzzle. Yet, Tel el-Daba is just the beginning. Let me take you now to another controversial archaeological site, Jericho. According to the Book of Joshua, the Israelites conquered and destroyed the city of Jericho shortly after the Exodus. The walls fell, according to the Bible, and the city was burned. For decades, archaeologists have searched for evidence of this destruction with mixed results. Jericho and Hazor aligning archaeology with scripture. In the 1930s, archaeologist John Garstang excavated Jericho and found evidence of a destroyed city dating, according to him, to the time of Joshua. However, in the 1950s, Kathleen Kenyon re-examined the site and concluded that the destruction occurred much earlier, around 1550 BCE. Once again, we encounter a discrepancy of about 200 years. Does this sound familiar? But here's where things get really interesting. If we apply the new chronology mentioned earlier, suddenly the destruction of Jericho aligns perfectly with the biblical account. Are you beginning to see the pattern? Time and again, we find archaeological evidence that seems to contradict the biblical narrative. Until we adjust the chronology, but there's more, much more. Let's now travel to the ancient city of Hazor in northern Israel. According to the book of Joshua, this city was also destroyed by the Israelites during their conquest of Canaan. Archaeologists have found evidence of massive destruction in Hazor, including burned buildings and decapitated statues. The problem? The destruction is conventionally dated around 1250 BCE. Together, we will continue to explore these mysteries and uncover the truths buried beneath the sands of time. The new chronology reshaping our understanding of biblical history. As we continue our exploration into the depths of forbidden archaeology, we find ourselves confronted with evidence that challenges the traditional biblical timeline. This evidence, when viewed through the lens of the new chronology, begins to make sense, aligning archaeological findings with biblical narratives in a way that breathes new life into ancient stories. The impact of a revised chronology. The destruction of Hazor, traditionally dated long after the supposed conquest of Canaan, aligns with biblical accounts when the new chronology is applied. This suggests that the biblical narrative of the conquest of Canaan could have a new archaeological basis. Are you beginning to see the bigger picture? Time and again, we encounter archaeological evidence that seems to contradict the Bible until we adjust the chronology. It's as if we're viewing a vast historical puzzle with pieces in the wrong places. But why does this matter? Why should we care if these events occurred 200 years earlier or later? The answer, dear truth seekers, is that this changes everything. If the new chronology is correct, it not only validates many biblical accounts challenged by traditional archaeology, but also forces us to re-examine our entire understanding of ancient history. Implications for historical understanding. Think about it. If the Exodus occurred earlier than we thought, how does that affect our understanding of Israel's emergence as a nation? If the conquest of Canaan happened in a different period, how does that change our view of the interactions between the ancient Israelites and their neighbors? This revised chronology could potentially resolve many inconsistencies and contradictions that skeptics have pointed out in the Bible for years. Take, for example, the famous Merneptah stele. This Egyptian inscription, conventionally dated around 1208 BCE, mentions Israel as an established entity in Canaan. Traditionally, this has posed a problem for biblical chronology, as the Israelites were supposed to be wandering the desert at that time. But with the new chronology, the Merneptah stele becomes a confirmation of the biblical account rather than a contradiction. The controversy and the quest for truth. However, we must be cautious. The new chronology is not universally accepted. Many traditional archaeologists and Egyptologists reject it, arguing that it requires too many adjustments to the established history. But isn't this how science progresses? By challenging established assumptions and re-examining evidence with fresh eyes. This is where you, dear truth seekers, come into play. I'm presenting this information not for blind acceptance, but for scrutiny, examination, and challenge. Could we have been reading the great book of history with the pages in the wrong order? Might it be that the biblical accounts many have dismissed as myths or legends have more historical basis than we thought? Continuing our journey, the truth likely lies somewhere in between. But one thing is certain, these archaeological findings and new interpretations compel us to re-examine our assumptions about biblical history and ancient history in general. And this is just the beginning of our journey. In the upcoming segments, we will explore more controversial archaeological findings that shed new light on key biblical figures and examine surprising connections between these discoveries and ancient prophecies. History, my friends, is far from written in stone. With each shovelful of sand we remove, with each artifact we unearth, we are rewriting the past and, in doing so, possibly redefining our future. Prepare yourselves, for our journey through forbidden archaeology is just beginning. I promise you, the revelations to come will shake the very foundations of what we believe we know about our biblical past. Unveiling new layers of ancient mysteries have only scratched the surface of this age-old mystery, dear truth seekers. Yet, as you know, each revelation brings with it new questions, new enigmas demanding resolution. As the sands of time continue to unveil their secrets, we stand on the threshold of an even more astonishing discovery. A finding that not only challenges our understanding of biblical chronology, but also casts an entirely new light on some of the most iconic figures in the scriptures. Imagine for a moment that everything you thought you knew about characters like Moses, King David, or even Jesus himself was only a fraction of the true story. Ancient texts, long forgotten in dark caves and lost in the desert sands, have begun to emerge, unveiling hidden truths. The journey continues. These newly uncovered writings, some so fragile they crumble at a touch, hold information that could rewrite entire chapters of sacred history. But there is more, much more. Deep within the earth, beneath layers of lost civilizations, archaeologists have discovered artifacts that defy all explanation. Objects that, according to all current knowledge, should not exist. Yet there they are, mocking our understanding of the past. The secrets and mysteries of hidden artifacts. What secrets do these objects hold? What truths do these newly found texts conceal? More importantly, why have they remained hidden for so long? The answer, my friends, may be more unsettling than you imagine. These discoveries not only challenge our understanding of history, they also threaten to destabilize the very foundations of some of the world's most powerful institutions. In our next segment, we will delve into these shocking revelations. We will examine evidence suggesting that some of the most revered figures in the Bible may have been very different from how we have imagined them for centuries. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew, because the truth, as you are about to discover, is stranger and more astonishing than any fiction. The call to join the quest for truth. Dear truth seekers, we have reached a crucial point in our journey. Before diving into the upcoming shocking revelations, allow me to pause and speak directly to you. What we have uncovered so far is just the tip of the iceberg. The history we are unearthing together is vast, complex, and frankly, revolutionary. But I cannot and do not want to embark on this journey alone. Each of you is an integral part of this quest for truth. Your questions, your ideas, your own research all are crucial to unraveling these ancient mysteries. I invite you to actively join our community of truth seekers. How can you do this? First, if you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you will ensure you don't miss any of our future revelations. Believe me, what is to come is even more astounding than what we have already seen. Second, activate the notification bell. This way, you will be the first to know when we publish new content, including exclusive investigations not shared anywhere else. More importantly, I invite you to actively participate in the comments. Share your thoughts, your theories, your own research. Have you found evidence that supports or contradicts what we've discussed? Do you have questions we haven't addressed yet? Let us know, engaging in the collective discovery. Remember, this is not just my research, it is our collective investigation. Together, we are challenging established narratives, questioning ingrained assumptions, and potentially rewriting history. So, my dear truth seekers, Are you ready to delve even deeper into the mysteries of forbidden archaeology? Are you prepared to question everything you thought you knew about the most iconic figures of the Bible? Join us, subscribe, participate. For together, we are about to embark on the most impactful part of our journey. The truth awaits you. Do you dare to discover it? Exploring iconic biblical figures. The real stories. Welcome back, my tireless truth seekers. Prepare yourselves, for what we are about to reveal will challenge everything you thought you knew about some of the most iconic figures in the Bible. Our journey now takes us into the depths of history, where the line between myth and reality blurs. We will delve into archaeological evidence that sheds new light on key biblical characters, revealing facets of their lives that have remained hidden for millennia. Unraveling the mystery of Moses, let's begin with one of the Bible's most enigmatic and foundational figures, Moses. For centuries, the story of Moses has been a cornerstone of Judeo-Christian faith. The leader who freed the Israelites from slavery in Egypt, who received the Ten Commandments directly from God. But what does archaeology really tell us about this legendary figure? In 1996, a team of archaeologists led by Professor James Hoffmeyer made a remarkable discovery in northern Egypt. At a site known as Tel El-Borg, they found the remains of a border fortress from the New Kingdom period of Egypt. This finding adds a new dimension to our understanding of the Exodus narrative, providing tangible connections to the historical context in which Moses might have lived. As we continue our exploration, we will uncover more about these and other biblical figures, challenging long-held beliefs and expanding our understanding of sacred history. Stay tuned, as the revelations to come will undoubtedly shake the very foundations of faith and history as we know them. Discovering biblical figures. Moses, David, and Jesus, uncovering the historical Moses. The discovery of the fortress at Tel El-Borg, precisely on the route the Israelites are said to have taken during the Exodus, is where our exploration begins. Archaeologists found inscriptions referencing an Egyptian high official with a Semitic name, reconstructed as Moshe, the Hebrew form of Moses. Could this be the archaeological evidence we've been searching for, confirming the historical existence of Moses? In 2017, at the Timna site in southern Israel, archaeologists unearthed a temple dedicated to the Egyptian god Hathor, dating to the 12th century BCE. This temple, intriguingly, shows signs of having been converted into an Israelite sanctuary. This aligns with the biblical account of the Israelites adopting Egyptian religious practices during their exodus, such as the Golden Calf incident. Some scholars propose a controversial theory. Moses might not have been just a Hebrew slave turned leader, but possibly an Egyptian high priest leading a religious revolution. This theory partially stems from the name Moses. In ancient Egyptian, Mos means son and was commonly part of theophoric names like Tutmosis, son of Thoth, or Ramses, son of Ra. Could Moses' name indicate a deeper connection to Egyptian royalty than traditionally thought? Reassessing King David's kingdom. Turning to the iconic King David, skeptics long viewed him as a legendary figure, a myth to unify Israel's tribes. However, the 1993 discovery of the Tel Dan Stele in northern Israel, inscribed with a reference to the House of David, provided the first direct archaeological evidence of King David's existence outside the Bible. Further excavations in Jerusalem's City of David have uncovered monumental structures from the 10th century BCE, coinciding with David's supposed reign. These structures are far more sophisticated than expected for a small tribal kingdom, suggesting David's realm might have been more powerful and advanced. Some archaeologists even speculate that David might have ruled an empire extending beyond Israel's borders, exploring Jesus' historical context. The pursuit of direct archaeological evidence of Jesus, the central figure of the New Testament, has been a long-standing quest. Although definitive proof of his existence remains elusive, recent finds shed light on the world he inhabited. In 2009, archaeologists discovered what might be the first house from Nazareth dating to Jesus' era. This modest rock-hewn dwelling offers unprecedented insights into Jesus' potential daily life. A more recent find in 2018 at Magdala, Mary Magdalene's hometown, revealed a first-century synagogue likely visited by Jesus. This synagogue features a frieze depicting the Jerusalem temple destroyed in 70 CE, giving a unique glimpse of the temple during Jesus' time. At the synagogue's center, the archaeologists found the Magdala stone, richly decorated with Jewish symbols. Some scholars interpret it as a representation of God's throne. This could illuminate Jesus' teachings, suggesting ideas about God's kingdom were present in contemporary Judaism. Controversial discoveries. Related to Jesus, the most controversial discovery linked to Jesus occurred in 2002. An ossuary inscribed James, son of Joseph, brother of Jesus. While its authenticity is debated, if genuine, it would be the first direct archaeological evidence of Jesus' existence. However, this raises challenging questions about historical interpretations and traditional narratives. These revelations about Moses, David, and Jesus invite us to reconsider long-held beliefs, offering fresh perspectives on these pivotal biblical figures. As we continue this journey through forbidden archaeology, we open new chapters in the understanding of our sacred past, reshaping not only historical narratives, but also the future discourse on faith and history. Join us as we delve deeper, exploring truths that might redefine our view of biblical history, re-examining theology and embracing new possibilities. Theological implications of discoveries related to Jesus. The notion that Jesus may have had siblings, as suggested by the controversial ossuary inscription James, son of Joseph, brother of Jesus, challenges certain established Christian doctrines. If confirmed, this discovery could compel a re-evaluation of fundamental aspects of Christian theology. My dear truth seekers, are you beginning to see the bigger picture? Each new discovery not only sheds light on these biblical figures, but also poses new questions, challenges our assumptions, and forces us to reconsider what we believed we knew. Moses, potentially an Egyptian high priest leading a religious revolution. David, possibly the ruler of a far larger empire than previously imagined. Jesus, preaching ideas already present in the Judaism of his time. Exploring symbols and advanced knowledge, yet there is something more, something that connects all these discoveries and could be even more astounding. At various archaeological sites related to these figures, researchers have found recurring symbols and motifs that defy explanation. Symbols that do not fit our understanding of the cultures of the time, but appear repeatedly. Some fringe scholars suggest these symbols might be evidence of advanced knowledge, perhaps even of extraterrestrial origin. Could Moses, David, and Jesus have had access to information or technology beyond their time? While these theories are highly speculative and controversial, biblical archaeology teaches us that truth is often stranger than fiction. Looking beyond the artifacts, we've reached the end of this chapter of Revelations, but our journey is far from over. In the next segment, we will explore the surprising connections between these archaeological findings and ancient prophecies, which could have staggering implications for our future. Prepare yourselves, for what lies ahead will challenge not only our understanding of the past, but also our vision of the future. The truth, as you are about to discover, is more astonishing than you could ever have imagined, adopting a transcendent perspective. My dear truth seekers, we have reached a crucial point in our journey, a point where we must lift our gaze beyond artifacts and ruins to contemplate the broader panorama unfolding before us. So far, we've examined archaeological findings that challenge our understanding of biblical chronology and shed new light on iconic scriptural figures. But what does all this mean in a larger context? How do these pieces fit into the grand puzzle of human existence? To answer these questions, We must adopt a transcendent perspective. We must look beyond historical facts and consider the philosophical and spiritual implications of our discoveries. Consider the possibility that biblical history, as we know it, is only a fraction of a much larger and more complex narrative, one that encompasses not only the history of humanity, but perhaps the history of the cosmos itself. The narrative of transcendental knowledge. Imagine, if you dare, that the biblical figures we've discussed, Moses, David, Jesus, were not merely religious or political leaders, but bearers of transcendental knowledge. Knowledge that could transform our understanding of reality itself. And what if the miracles described in the Bible were not supernatural interventions, but manifestations of a science so advanced that it appears magical to us? As the writer Arthur C. Clarke once said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Consider the plagues of Egypt, the parting of the Red Sea, the destruction of Jericho's walls. Could these events, traditionally attributed to divine intervention, actually be demonstrations of advanced technology? Technology that, for some reason, was lost in the sands of time? Exploring extraterrestrial connections, and if we take it a step further, what if this technology was not of terrestrial origin? Ancient Sumerian texts speak of the Anunnaki, beings who descended from the heavens to instruct humanity. Hindu scriptures describe vimanas, flying machines used by the gods. Even the Bible contains descriptions of phenomena that some interpret as encounters with extraterrestrial beings. Is it possible that our ancestors had contact with a higher intelligence? Could it be that the world's religions are attempts to understand and describe this contact through the limited lens of ancient cultures, embracing radical ideas? I understand that these ideas may seem radical, even heretical to some. However, they invite us to expand our horizons and consider new possibilities that transcend conventional narratives. As we continue this journey, let us keep our minds open to the vast potential of what might be. The truth awaits, and it is more wondrous than any fiction. Join us in the next chapter as we delve deeper into these mysteries and explore their profound implications for our future. Embracing cosmic possibilities and personal transformation. Imagining a cosmic narrative, I invite you, dear truth seekers, to keep an open mind. After all, the history of science and human knowledge is replete with ideas once deemed heretical that we now accept as facts. But let us venture even further. What if humanity's entire history, as we know it, is but a chapter in a much larger cosmic narrative? What if our planet, our species, is part of a grand experiment? Imagine Earth as a cosmic laboratory, a crucible where different forms of life and intelligence interact and evolve. The diverse religions and cultures might be variables in this grand experiment, each contributing a unique piece to the puzzle of universal consciousness. In this context, prophets and religious leaders could be seen as participant observers, guiding humanity towards certain outcomes or revelations. The purpose of evolution and consciousness. What if the ultimate purpose of all this is the evolution of consciousness? Imagine that the entire history of humanity, with its triumphs and tragedies, is a process of refinement, preparing us for the next step in our cosmic evolution. My dear truth seekers, I know these ideas may seem overwhelming, even unsettling, but I urge you to consider the possibilities that lie before us. If we are part of a grand cosmic experiment, is it not our duty, our sacred responsibility, to seek the truth with all our being? Shouldn't we question everything we believe we know, exploring every corner of our reality in search of answers? For in the end, what is faith but the relentless pursuit of truth? What is spirituality but the yearning to connect with something greater than ourselves? Applying discoveries to daily life, in our next and final segment, we will explore how these discoveries and ideas can be applied to our daily lives. Ultimately, the true power of knowledge lies in its ability to transform us, to elevate us to new heights of understanding and consciousness. Prepare yourselves, my dear truth seekers, for we are about to take the final step in our journey, a step that could forever change how we view the world, the universe, and our place within it, bringing cosmic revelations home. We have traveled an extraordinary path together, from the sands of Egypt to the hills of Jerusalem, unearthing secrets that challenge our understanding of biblical history and invite us to consider cosmic possibilities beyond our imagination. But now, it is time to bring these revelations home, to ask ourselves, how do these discoveries affect our daily lives? How can we apply this knowledge to transform our existence and elevate our consciousness? First, we must recognize that this journey of discovery does not end here. In fact, it is just beginning. Each of you now has the responsibility and the privilege to continue this quest for truth in your daily life. Consider for a moment how your perspective changes, knowing that the story told to us might be only a fraction of the truth. Does this not inspire you to question more, to investigate more deeply, to accept nothing as an absolute fact? Living with purpose and inquiry, I invite you to apply this spirit of inquiry to all aspects of your life. Question your beliefs, your assumptions, even your perceptions. For it is in this questioning that true spiritual and intellectual growth resides. But it is not just about questioning. It is also about being open to new possibilities. If Moses might have been an Egyptian, religious revolutionary, if David might have ruled a vast empire, if Jesus might have been a bearer of cosmic knowledge, what possibilities open up for you in your own lives? Allow yourselves to dream bigger. Imagine that you are part of something much more vast and significant than you ever considered. Because if the history of humanity is a cosmic experiment, then each of you is a crucial participant in that experiment. And if we truly are part of a grand universal design, do we not have the responsibility to live our lives with a higher purpose? To seek not only our own growth, but the advancement of all humanity, contributing to the evolution of consciousness. Challenge you to view every interaction, every decision, every moment of your lives through this new lens. Ask yourselves, how can I contribute to the evolution of human consciousness today? Perhaps this means being more compassionate to those around you, recognizing that each person is, like you, a seeker of truth on their own cosmic journey. Or it might involve dedicating time each day to reflection and meditation, exploring the vast landscapes of your own consciousness with the same dedication that archaeologists explore ancient ruins. As we conclude this journey, remember that the pursuit of truth is a never-ending adventure. Embrace the possibilities, seek the truth, and let these revelations guide you toward a future of greater understanding and connection with the cosmos and each other. Embracing the journey of discovery and sharing knowledge, inspiring curiosity and transformation. Perhaps these revelations will inspire you to share this knowledge with others, igniting the spark of curiosity and wonder in those around you. Remember, the true power of this knowledge does not lie in historical facts or speculative theories. It lies in its ability to transform us, to elevate us to a higher state of consciousness. As you contemplate these ideas, I ask you to consider one last possibility. What if the next great discovery, the next revelation that will change the course of history, is waiting to be uncovered by one of you, shaping the future and embracing responsibility? Because in the end, my dear truth seekers, that is the true essence of our journey. It's not just about unearthing the past, but about shaping the future. It's about recognizing our role in the grand cosmic tapestry and taking responsibility for weaving our own destiny. So go out into the world with fresh eyes and open minds. Question, explore, imagine, and above all, never stop seeking the truth, wherever it may lead you. For in that quest, in that endless journey toward knowledge and understanding, we truly find ourselves in our place in the universe. Continuing the quest, my dear truth seekers, we have reached the end of this extraordinary journey. But in reality, it is only the beginning. The knowledge we have shared today is just a drop in the vast ocean of mysteries that still await us. Now, the torch passes to you. It is your turn to take this knowledge and carry it further, to continue the quest, to question, to explore, to discover. Join our community of tireless researchers. Together, we can unravel the secrets of the past and shape the future of humanity. You will find exclusive resources, in-depth investigations, and discussion forums where you can connect with other truth seekers like yourselves. Subscribe to our channel and activate notifications. Each week, we will reveal new discoveries, provocative theories, and perspectives that will challenge everything you believe about history and our place in the cosmos. For those ready to dive even deeper into these mysteries, I invite you to join our exclusive member community. There you will have access to premium content, live webinars with me, and the opportunity to participate in real archaeological expeditions. The power of discovery. Remember, the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered. Each of you has the power to be part of that revelation. So I ask you, are you ready to question everything? To see beyond the veil of official history? To embark on a journey that could change not only your understanding of the past, but also your vision of the future? The choice is yours. The adventure awaits. I am Dr. Alejandro Vega, and this is Forbidden Archaeology. Until our next discovery, keep seeking the truth.